Discover how government impacts your daily life from the federal level all the way down to your local city. Each week, I'll share my key takeaways and teaching moments on crucial civics concepts to help understand what is happening in the current political environment. That's Politics Matters with Bruce Klopfler, Sundays at 5 p.m. or anytime on your favorite podcast app.
It's been a while since I explained this, but a Toyota from Rudy Luther Toyota will always be in my driveway. 2 years ago, a drunk driver slammed into my Toyota Sienna. In most vehicles, I wouldn't be here today, but my Toyota Sienna kept me safe. It was designed for safety, something I saw firsthand. I have no problem telling you, if you want a vehicle that will keep you and your family safe on the road, Toyota is the way to go. I'm partial to the Sienna, but all their vehicles are fantastic. Be safe, own a Toyota. Shop today at rudyluthertoyota.com or visit Rudy Luther Toyota on the corner of 394 and 169 in Golden Valley.
You are so much more than a consumer, so why support one dominant e-store that runs the world? How about an online shopping market where you can buy a wood ornament and a tree is planted, fun socks supporting the Humane Society, or pride flags and earrings and candles supporting human rights? A place to buy panache juices sourced from sustainable orchards in Minnesota. Discover Coscart.com. Coscart is offering free local delivery in the Twin Cities when you enter pickup at checkout until December 20th. When you shop Coscart, you're supporting artisans, nonprofits, socially conscious businesses, and yourself. Every item reflects a commitment to positive change. Coscart uses biodegradable and recyclable packaging and invests in carbon credits. Coscart, one conscious choice at a time. Discover the joys of shopping with purpose. Visit cos-cart.com today. Free local delivery in the Twin Cities when you enter pickup at checkout until December 20th. Visit cos-cart.com today.
Hey, Cudahy to all my friends and relatives in four directions. This is Robert Pilot of Native Roots Radio presents I'm Awake. I'm here to ask you for your support. Finding honest Native-centered news is not easy. But with your support, we're able to provide accurate information about Standing Rock, Line 3, treaty violations, and COVID-19 in our Native communities. Please visit Native Roots Radio Network on Patreon and donate if you can. That's Native Roots Radio Network on Patreon. Pinigigi, and thank you for your support.
With a look at your AM 950 weather, I'm Patrick Lilia. Cloudy tonight with a low of 20, then Tuesday sunshine with a high of 26. For more than 40 years, the Great Wall Restaurant has been serving up Szechuan and Mandarin favorites. The Great Wall is located just north of 50th in France on the Minneapolis-Edina City line. Check them out at greatwallrestaurant.us.
Portions of Native Roots Radio may be pre-recorded.
It's a good day to be indigenous.
Get up, stand up.
They are going to become more brutal.
Because all the hippies were trying to be Indians anyway.
They're going to become more repressive because it's a matter of dollars and their illusionary concepts of power.
Hey, Victor.
We must live in balance with the earth.
And also with recent happenings at Wounded Knee.
I am awake. Welcome to Native Roots Radio presents I'm Awake, and I'm your host, Wakanda. Hey, Cudahy to all my friends and relatives in four directions. You are listening to Native Roots Radio presents I'm Awake, and I'm your host, Robert Pilot. We discuss local, national, Native news and events, and as you know, Chujunk, Native issues are human issues, and human issues are Native issues.
Yes, you are right, Digga. This portion of the show is supported by the Minnesota Indian Women's Sexual Assault Coalition.
Hey, some sad news, Haley, a tribal member in the area, executive director of American Indian Movement, Frank Perro, has passed today, and I just want to lead that off and send out healing prayers and comfort prayers to the family and all his friends, and I know he has grandchildren, and Frank's been on the show many times, and he's a pillar in the community, and we're sad to see this, him passing on.
Yeah. Thanks for mentioning that. I saw that earlier too as well, and I have all of my AIM gear on. I got my AIM hoodie on, which is where I saw Frank a lot of the time, was at the American Indian Movement vendor stuff and having all the swag. And it's such a hard loss when we lose elders like this in our community, and thoughts and prayers and tobacco down. Just thinking about Frank and everyone who knew him, his family and relatives, and it's going to be a big loss here in the community.
Yeah, we had our Sunday symposium when we were doing the Sunday symposium, and Clyde Belcourt handed over reins to Lisa and
Bellinger?
yes, Lisa Bellinger, thank you, and also to Frank, and it was pretty heavy duty. It was a thing that needed to be done, and I'm glad Clyde did that, because there was no fighting about who was going to be the leader or any of that, and he said it while he was still alive. And we here at Native Roots Radio were a big part of that, and that show was pretty intense and awesome. And so we've been supporting AIM and part of AIM. I know Clyde and Frank were always out at Wounded Knee every year for the anniversary of the occupation. And Frank, for many years, traveled all over the country to check out people that wanted to become American Indian Movement chapters, and checking them out and going through that whole process. And he's been involved with the American Indian Movement for decades and decades.
Yeah, that's right. And so much to learn from, like you said, Frank and Clyde and all of those people in AIM. And that's why it's so important to learn from our elders before, it's too late, so we can continue on the traditions and carry it down to our next generations.
Yeah, definitely. I also, before we get going too far, because I have a good memory, but it's short, just to remind everyone that we'll be out there. Native Roots Trading Post will be in Shakopee Thursday, Friday, and Saturday. Come out and say hi. I think I'm doing the show Thursday and Friday live out there. So
live audience.
Bring your tomatoes and throw them at me, or just give me a big who.
Yeah, get those laugh tracks going in the background for sure. Yeah. with your jaw jig jokes.
Yeah, there you go. Hey, I got to see Mahinu, and I understand that you interviewed people from the New Native Theater and got to see that live radio broadcast, 5-part series, and then there's 5 more parts on a different night. It was fabulous. Deanna Thundercloud outdid herself. It was fabulous, funny, and of course, coming from New Native Theater, and it was professional and awesome.
I'm so glad to hear you were able to go. Yeah, I didn't know that Deanna Standing Cloud, this was like kind of a play that was written years ago, or within the past 5 years, I think. But I was just learning that when I was talking to a couple of the cast members last Friday. But yeah, so it sounds like it was good. And there's going to be, it's a podcast, right? So everything that's being recorded, you can listen to, or no?
Right. No, that's exactly right. So I believe they'll be editing the best performances and then putting them up on their social medias and websites, so you can download and listen to it anywhere. So that's what makes it a podcast, but really it's like an old time radio show. So it was
that's cool.
It was fun too, because they were acting it out, but not really. They were reading a script and acting out with their voices. And of course, when you're doing that too, your body gets involved. And so it was really cool. And Jaleesa McKee played a big part in it, and it was really good to see my Hinu, my daughter, doing what she loves best.
Yeah, and you can definitely tell how much she loves it, and so happy for Jaleesa and all the cast members that get to work with New Native Theater, and specifically on this play, which we're talking about is Blood Quantum Physics. It's an audio play by Deanna Standing Cloud. And for more information, you can check out newnativetheater.org, and theater is spelt with R-E at the end. I believe times and tickets and everything you can get on the website.
Absolutely. And I'm hoping to maybe get somebody on here before the end of the week too, and give them a little boost too. I know the tickets are going to be going fast, and New Native Theater seems to always sell out. So get them on there, and it's pay what you can, but suggested price is $35, and we always do that. But pay what you can, show up and listen to a lot of familiar things on this 10-part podcast / play. A lot of inside jokes and a lot of jokes about the urban Indian that we'll all get
I love that. Yeah, that sounds like a good story. I know it'll be playing next weekend too, Friday, Saturday, and Sunday, I believe. Friday and Saturday at 7, and then 1 p.m. they have the early afternoon showing.
Well, we're going to have Dr. Stately on later, and also Wendy with their sacred animals section. What else is going on? I know we got some notes here on the show generic script. We're talking about some winter storytelling. What else?
Yeah.
What do you got on that?
Well, I don't know. I was looking up kind of like different traditions with like our neighboring tribes because, we're Ho-Chunk. So I know we do like our winter storytelling. We're supposed to do it when there's snow on the ground. And I wasn't sure if that was like the same for our neighboring tribes, like the Dakotas or the Chippewa. But I was kind of looking, I found this really cool website. It's at the lacrossestoryfest.com. And it was talking about the differences between storytellings and like when it's, appropriate for different tribes. And I thought that was really interesting. But going back to the Ho-Chunk thing, I was skiing this weekend, and here in Minnesota, it's been cold. I mean, it's been fairly warm this weekend, but they are able to make snow there because we haven't gotten much snowfall naturally. And this was my question, Dega. So can you do winter storytelling on snow that's like man-made or definitely preferred to be, creator-made?
Yeah, that's a good question. I don't think there was man-made snow 10,000 years ago. So.
No, they didn't have those big snow blowers and a big water bill.
Right, exactly. So, yeah, that would be someone to ask. That's interesting too. I shot you that video of the snake. This with the snake, the snow snake, and how you throw that down a trail and see who goes the furthest. And
oh yeah, the Ho-Chunk game outside.
Yeah, well, it's all tribes.
Oh, I didn't know that. That's
Yeah.
cool.
Yeah. So, hey, we're going to have Dr. Stately up next, and you're listening to Native Roots Radio. I heard sex trafficking happens a lot in Indian country. What is that?
Here are some of the real reasons why sex trafficking happens in Indian country. Unequal gender roles that were forced on us by colonization. Communities don't have enough resources. Silence around domestic and sexual violence. Lack of attention and justice for missing and murdered Indigenous people. There's a lot of behavior that keeps our communities out of balance. These are just a few true reasons why Native communities are targeted by traffickers. When these acts of violence happen in our communities, it opens us all up for exploitation.
Sponsored by the Minnesota Indian Women's Sexual Assault Coalition.
The city of Minneapolis is now on Native Roots Radio with Minneapolis AIR. AIR stands for American Indian Relations. Guest host Christine McDonald talks to people about important things affecting the city's Native communities. Minneapolis AIR dives into topics like public safety, public health, elections, and so much more. Tune in to Minneapolis AIR on Native Roots Radio from 5 to 6 p.m. on the second Wednesday of every month, right here on AM 950.
Signing up for $1 bus and train rides with the Transit Assistance Program, or TAP, is quick and easy. Do it straight from your computer or phone by uploading one of the pre-approved documents listed at metrotransit.org/TAP, along with a copy of your ID. They'll mail you a go-to card with a full year of discounted rides. For questions or translation help, call 612-373-3333. That's 612-373-3333.
Get ready to bake with I Am Betty. The smash hit musical returns to the History Theater now through December 29th. Explore 100 years of women's history through Betty Crocker. While she wasn't a real person, Betty Crocker was a media personality and cultural icon who shaped homes and kitchens for generations. Don't miss last season's runaway hit with catchy songs and heartwarming stories. So grab your big red cookbook and head to the History Theater. Tickets at historytheater.com.
Hi, I'm Jane Fonda, and you're listening to Native Roots Radio.
And we're back to Native Roots Radio presents I'm Awake, and this is Robert Pilot.
This portion of the show is supported by Native American Community Development Institute, or NACD, in Minneapolis.
Hey, welcome back, everyone. Hey, we're here with Dr. Stately, Native American Community Clinic CEO, and Frank, Dr. Stately, I don't know, did you hear that Frank Perro passed on today? And our
I did hear that.
Thoughts and prayers are with family and the movement, and it'll be lost in the community.
Yeah, I was really actually quite shocked to hear about it, hear the news. I think I was at a meeting this afternoon, and one of my colleagues mentioned it to me that he had passed. My condolences to his family, and he's
Yeah.
I think and to the community too. Like we lost a good leader. So
Yeah, definitely. Saw Frank everywhere. One of the few times that I went to Wounded Knee, of course, he was there, representing and being with the American Indian movement. And thoughts and prayers to his family, and it's a great loss. And it's just a reminder too of our relatives are not here forever, and we need to reach out and talk to them and listen to the stories, and be a part of the community and listen to what the history of what we've gone through and what we go through.
oh, for sure. And I'm sure he has. I'm hoping that someone took time to record his or write down his stories and or codify them somehow. He's like, I think he lived in South Minneapolis for a really long time and in our community and worked in the organization and AIM for quite some years. And so, it's always one of those things where you're like, not only is it just a loss personally, I mean, I have a lot of really good memories of him. One time, I went and found him and chased him down and told him to go to the doctor because I know that he was having like symptoms of involving his heart, and I was like, Frank, you need to go to the doctor, honey.
Right. Well,
we value you. You have to go to the doctor.
Yeah,
Anyway.
that's correct. And when he did have some situations a couple years ago, that's what I was saying. You gotta take care of yourself. Get off those heaters, and we need you. And
yeah, he will be missed. That's for sure. And the community will, he leaves a big gap. And I'm sure his family is very, he was a grandpa. Was he a great grandpa? I think he was a great grandpa.
Mm-hmm.
So,
Yeah.
he left up behind a lot of people who love him, as well. I mean, love him dearly, his family. So, I haven't even been home like 20 minutes. I'll go put out some tobacco tonight by my tree and just say a prayer for him in his journey.
Yeah. I was telling Haley, we had our Sunday night symposium, and Clyde handed over the reins to him and Lisa Bellinger live on Native Roots Radio Network. And, it was good because you didn't want to question who was going to take the reins. And now Lisa needs to figure out who's going to be working with her. And it was good that Clyde put it as a co-directorship, so to speak. So there's no inner squabbling, and they seem to work together really well, and we'll keep on keeping.
Yeah. I mean, I'm sure they have thought about those things and talked about them. I know that Frank had, I think, had already either had or was talking about stepping back from that work anyway because of his health. And so, the community will step in and carry on that work. And I hope we just all remember as we do that, and remind ourselves of who cut the path before us.
Yeah, really good point.
My neighbor's dog is barking. Can you hear that?
No, but we're all for dogs. We miss our dogs that used to bust in on our cat that used to bust in on our show.
Oh yeah, mine is running around here somewhere. Oh, he's over there on the bed.
He's planning something for later.
There he is. When are you coming to lay down? Is what he's saying.
Yeah.
That's funny. That's
This
funny.
dog, though, every single morning on never during the week does he get up that early. Get up really early and wake me up, but it's always like on Saturday and Sunday he wakes up and wakes me up like before I want to get up.
Yeah, that's a new trick our dog's doing now. So I get to get up a couple times and let him out, and hopefully the raccoon don't get him.
Hopefully.
Yeah. I got to be awake when I'm letting them out. It's like, what the heck?
Oh, you have a little tiny dog, huh? Yeah.
Yeah, it's
Yeah,
a
the
sacred. It's a
raccoon.
tiny sacred dog. It's like a little human
I'm
dog.
sure, yeah.
Oh yeah,
he was,
you got to meet him.
He's very aggressive, isn't he?
Yeah, he likes to say hi and needs attention. Hey, we put
Mhm.
our reef up. Our reef is bigger than our
your door.
Christmas tree and our door too.
Oh,
Yeah,
like kind of like hits the door. Yeah,
it's awesome.
it is quite lovely. I saw a picture of it. It looks nice.
Oh yeah, that was
Yeah.
awesome.
Enjoyed that wreath. It's the last one you're getting from me.
I know. We'll have to pull out the artificial one with the fake candle and hope for some snow so it looks real.
If you get some spray on shellac, you could just shellac it now.
Oh, shellac, huh?
I always wonder, I just said my mom shellacked everything that she wanted to preserve. Just shellac it. Shellac it.
That's hilarious. That is hilarious. We got Alice. Did you see Allison put up, listens to our show all the time. She met your brother, Charlie. Who
yeah.
It's vending season time.
It is vending season time. Yeah.
Where can people find your brother's store, Dr. Stately?
People can find my brother's store, Woodland Indian Crafts, in the Indian Center, the Minneapolis American Indian Center on Franklin Avenue in Bloomington, where it intersects 1530 East Franklin in Minneapolis. But one of the things I'm the proudest about my brother Charlie is that he went to work for, I think it was, oh God, what was his last name? I want to say he was a Larson. I believe he was a Larson. And I can't remember the name of the store before he bought it. It was called Blue something. Anyway, my brother went to work for him when he was an intern, or when he was a student at Minneapolis Institute of Arts. And he had gotten a full ride to go become an artist. He left Minneapolis Institute of Arts after his first year of College of Art and Design, because from my conversations with him when I was younger, I think one of the things he was talking about was how they were trying to make him into a different artist than the indigenous artist he was, and he was working with the owner of the store before it became Woodland for about a year or so, and then he decided he wanted to sell the store, and my brother was like, I want to buy it, and my mom leveraged her house to help him buy the store. But he is one of the longest Native owned and operated businesses on Franklin Avenue. He's been in that same location, operating with an Indian craft for 46 years, I think. Yeah.
Yeah.
I think he was 19 when he bought it.
So it's like 1978 or 79, somewhere around there, wasn't
78,
it? Because I saw an old article of exactly what you're saying.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Well,
and if you ever go into his store, you'll see. I don't know if he still has that up, but I think the year after that was remember Prince Charles and Princess Diana got married.
Yeah.
And
1980. Yep.
Yeah, and he was commissioned by one of his regular persons that came in, a regular visitor. He was commissioned by one of those persons to bead to make a gift for the couple on their wedding. That was going to be the person's wedding gift. And so that it was he made this beaded applique of Buckingham Palace in the background, and it says Princess Diana and
Charles.
Prince Charles on the flags, and it has the date of their wedding on it. And I'm sure Camilla destroyed that at some point.
What I like about your brother, he's a mellow dude, and he's very helpful, and he's a real deal. He's a very humble, mellow dude.
He is humble. He is mellow. He had his rambunctious days, but didn't we all? And he is like what I think my mom would be really happy and really proud right now. She would be really proud to know that every one of her sons, all three of us, myself, my brother Rob, my brother Charlie, we're all working in the Native community on Franklin Avenue Culture Corridor after all these years.
Wow. Hey, we're here with Dr. Stately, and this is Native Roots Radio. We'll be right back after this short break.
As we age, it's important to invest in our health and to help protect it. Like the flu, COVID-19 is always changing. That's why it's important to stay up to date on your vaccines. By getting the flu and COVID-19 vaccines, you can renew your body's defenses and lower the risk of getting sick. Get your health boost and protect yourself against the flu and COVID. Find vaccines near you at vaccines.gov. Again, that's vaccines.gov. Vaccines.gov.
A home that needs new everything. Plus the kitchen sink. Life math is complicated. Affinity Plus makes it easier. With great rates on a home equity line of credit, we make tackling home projects less stressful. Visit affinityplus.org/rates to learn more today. Affinity Plus Federal Credit Union. Insured by NCUA. Equal housing lender.
J&S Bean Factory is a Native-owned, community-supported, cozy, artsy coffee shop which offers roasted on-site beans, live music, and baked goods. Relax in the beautiful outside patio. City Pages writes, voted top 10 coffee shops. Tucked into a quiet corner of St. Paul's Highland Park neighborhood, this coffee shop roasts beans on-site from the best coffee-growing countries in the world. Located at 1518 Randolph Avenue, St. Paul. The good stuff.
Minnesota has the only original wolf population in the continental United States.
And 80% of Minnesotans believe the wolf should be protected.
Howling for Wolves is asking Minnesotans to respect our true wildlife manager, the wolf.
Their survival is critical to our ecosystems, our communities, and even our economy.
As highly intelligent animals with strong social bonds, Minnesota wolves deserve to be protected and admired.
Learn more at howlingforwolves.org. Let's live and let howl.
As we age, it's important to invest in our health and to help protect it. Like the flu, COVID-19 is always changing. That's why it's important to stay up to date on your vaccines. By getting the flu and COVID-19 vaccines, you can renew your body's defenses and lower the risk of getting sick. Get your health boost and protect yourself against the flu and COVID. Find vaccines near you at vaccines.gov. Again, that's vaccines.gov. Vaccines.gov.
Celebrate the holiday season with Open Eye Theater's Scrooge and Rouge, a hilarious twist on the classic Christmas Carol. Last year's critically acclaimed hit musical returns with outrageous costumes, sassy lyrics, and side-splitting performances by an all-star cast. It's guaranteed to get your spirits soaring. Scrooge and Rouge runs through December 29th. Get your tickets now at openeyetheater.org. Again, that's tickets at openeyetheater.org.
Greg Bakken here. Like you, I love good, fresh, delicious food. So I want to tell you about this treasure in Roseville called Maverick's Real Roast Beef. Maverick's has the best roast beef sandwiches I've ever had. Made fresh, every order. Add fries or onion rings dropped in the fryer when ordered, and you have a winning combination. Maverick's Real Roast Beef has a lot more than roast beef, so check out their website, mavericksbeef.com, or check out their restaurant on Lexington in Roseville.
With a look at your AM 950 weather, I'm Patrick Lilia. Cloudy tonight with a low of 20, then Tuesday sunshine with a high of 26. As our way of saying thank you to our new and sustaining members here at AM 950, we have exciting news for you. Our calendars are back for 2025, featuring the exciting photography of none other than Matt McNeil. Head over to am950radio.com to see how you can get yours.
Welcome back to Native Roots Radio presents I'm Awake, and this is Robert Pilot.
This portion of the show is supported by Native American Community Clinic on Franklin Avenue in Minneapolis, honoring health and tradition.
Hey, we're here with our friend Dr. Stately, Native American Community Clinic CEO and all-around great guy. You know, I always have to bring this up that we are like so blessed to have you on our show and talking around the community, and as you're not just the Native community, but the whole community as a whole really know you and respect you. And so it's a lot of fun to have you on, but also you come with all this knowledge. And, you know, we talked to you during the heavy duty times of COVID and when there was no vaccine and all these things that affect Indian country and our community as a whole. It's just been, I just want to say I really appreciate you coming on when you can. And I know it's not always easy with your young ones running around and taking care of them as you have to, but I appreciate you coming on and speaking your truth.
They're not that young. They're 17.
Well,
but
I'm 63.
But they don't drive. But they don't drive. So, like, you know, they might as well be 5.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't understand kids now. The day I turned 16, I got my license, and I had a car when I was 15, and I used to push it down the alley and start it in the middle of the night when my parents were sleeping.
Oh,
Yeah, I'm not proud to say this, but I bought a car when I was 16 and didn't get a license until I was 18. But like, I was ready to go, like, as soon as I could get it. I was like, I'm out of here.
Yeah. Wow. Yeah. Well,
that was a great car. My first car was a Ford LTD.
Oh, what year?
Yeah. I think at that point it was a 70. So.
Oh, I had a 69 Ford LTD, and that was an old highway patrol car with the 429. That thing was fast. I got more tickets in that car than I ever did in any car I ever owned.
That car was like, it was a really gross, ugly pea green. Like, it was really disgusting and ugly, but it only cost me $700, and it was like really a great deal. It was like, and it was a tank. I remember one time I never could, get, stuck in anything. I remember one time I was coming from downtown Minneapolis, going home, and we lived in South Minneapolis, and I I was on Hiawatha Avenue, and you know how Hiawatha and Cedar split there.
Mm-hmm.
You get the off ramp to Cedar, and it was snowing, and my tires got kind of stuck in the rut, and I started drifting towards Cedar Avenue, but I was trying to like steer to go and get back on Hiawatha, and I ended up hitting that median thing right in the middle between the two roads. Yeah, and I just put it in reverse and backed up and kept going. It was like,
yeah, I think my car, I had a slow gas leak for about 9 months, and I did not have to smoke any weed or anything. I think I had a contact high from the gasoline smell for those times.
That actually explains a lot.
Yeah. I got a lot of drain damage in the 70s there.
Yeah, clearly.
Oh, thanks, Haley. Your review's coming up soon, Haley.
I know. You've done so well.
And it's also you ended up on the 9 list now. So I don't know what's gonna happen.
Yeah, Haley.
He's your day guy. He's gonna take care of you.
Always.
Yeah, no, I'm there to back you up if you need me.
Yeah. on the air live. Hey,
Yeah.
we're gonna be Wendy and I will be Shakopee this weekend. Hopefully, we'll see you stop by the
For the
market.
the market. Yeah, nice. I will. I missed it last year. I'm so disappointed I missed it last year. But
Yeah, I did too. I was sick. I think I had COVID like 2 weeks beforehand, and I just did not have the energy to do it.
oh yeah, I remember that actually. Now that I think about it.
It was weird. I
Yeah.
was ready to go, and but yeah, you live out that way, so I'll give you a text to come by and stop by, and I'll give you that special guest host discount. Oh wow!
No, I thought you had like I think you put away 2 or 3 T-shirts for me already. I'm gonna come collect those. I'll get the free stuff first, and I'll see what I can pay for.
Yeah. Oh, you're gonna have to fight Wendy. Wendy and Wanda, our dog, will be there.
Wanda the dog. Yeah, that's a little ankle biter. That dog.
Oh, she's very sacred. We love her.
She's very sweet. I love her little ramp that she has to go up onto the couch.
Yeah, she's got one that goes up in the bed too.
She does. And I was like, oh, I'm gonna need one of those ramps here in about probably 10 years.
Yeah. To go anywhere. Well,
to go anywhere, exactly. So
well, once we I don't know if you saw the baby's room, but once we changed that, it was my studio, and then it changed to the baby room. But once the babies get old, that's going to be our first floor room too again, because we're going to have trouble going up those steep stairs.
Oh, your stairs are insane.
They're steep, aren't they? They're like
yeah. Well, it used to be the attic. They're attic stairs.
Oh, got it. Okay, that makes sense.
So
they're like the stairs on the second level of the XL Energy Center. So when I go to hockey games and I get seated down on the thing, I'm always feel like I'm going to tumble down and like fall to my death.
Afraid of heights up there.
Yeah. Well, if we would have if we weren't grandfathered in on those stairs, they would the angle would be right in the middle of our living room. So if that makes sense, they're from the old attic days. That were attic stairs.
Yeah.
That makes sense.
You might want to start thinking in advance your retirement strategy here.
Yeah, a little little chair to take me up the stairs.
Yeah, like that lady in that in the movie about the Gizmo. What is it?
What? Wicked? Are you talking about Wicked?
No,
Gremlins?
Gremlins, remember?
Oh,
she was on
Haley.
those stairs and they were like it went flying through the window.
Oh, I haven't seen that movie in
That would be
forever.
yeah. Oh my God, I love that movie. My kids used to watch it all the time, but yeah, now I just listen to rap music and listen to them play like video games, and every once in a while they fight about girls, which is like just yeah.
Oh.
I'm telling you, the military sounds better and better every single day.
Can you sign them up before they're 18 without them knowing? Because you're their guardian, you're their father.
If I can, I would seriously consider that. I mean, they're going to have to figure out life and how else are you going to do that? But
They have hockey in the military?
They do actually. They have hockey teams, and they also, but more importantly, they have structure and discipline. And I was telling, and more importantly, they're gonna have a roof over their head. They're gonna have like a cot to sleep in, a bed to sleep in. They'll have meals prepared for them, right? For the most part, one of them wants to be a cook, or he wants to be a cook, a firefighter, and possibly something else. And I said you can do all that in the Army.
Yeah.
Like you can be a cook in the Army. You can also become a firefighter while you're there. And guess what? They'll also teach you how to drive, because they want you to be able to how to drive. They want you to drive.
Right.
It's like it is sounding every single time I talk to somebody. It is sounding like the solution to my life every single time I talk to somebody.
Well, it's interesting too. They make you make your bed too in the morning, and that would help out the
They
discipline
might
there.
they might actually sleep in a bed. Right now, they don't sleep in a bed.
Well, in all seriousness, in my
I'm
early
serious.
years,
Like, yeah, I've
my
said this
early
before on
years
the radio.
of my early years of working in the restaurants, some of the best chefs I worked under learned their trade in the Army as a chef
Oh yeah, that makes a lot of sense.
on how to really prepare and because it's all about prep and cutting accurately and making
Yeah.
soup out of bones and all those things.
Wow, what kind of bones?
Yeah, that's a different show. That's a scary thing to think about.
That's a horror show. That's like a Let's Get Out type of a movie.
Yeah. Sasquatch.
But no, seriously, I will tell you this. Like, my children do not sleep in beds. I worked with my fingers to the bone. Look at these
Yeah,
fingers.
I see it.
Typing.
Yeah, for grants.
writing grants, yes. And I bought this amazing house finally in 2020, right when I was about to die from COVID. You remember that?
Right,
I was
right.
closing my house same year, same week I ended up in the hospital. Go ahead. And I bought this huge house to give them an amazing life, 5 bedrooms, and they don't sleep in any of the bedrooms. They sleep on the floor or on the couch. And I was like, I said this legitimately, I did say this a couple months ago. I said, I did not go $180,000 into debt, work my butt off to get like this amazing life for you, buy this beautiful house with all these amazing bedrooms in it for you to just sleep on the floor. We could have just stayed on the res.
I think they're kind of living the resi life there.
They
Chuck.
are.
Holy mackerel. Wow.
I-
be killing me.
If
Yeah.
I was sleeping on the floor, I'd be crippled. I'd be
You and me,
crippled for
you and me
jeez.
both. I'm like, all I can think about is like, they're going to come to me in about 10 years and tell me about how their backs don't. Yeah. I'll be like, yeah, I told you, sleep on your bed.
Well, you can tell them what I tell my kids. Just invite me to your therapy session because I got a few things to bring up too.
Oh yeah, absolutely. Yeah.
I got a list too.
Actually, at this rate, I'm likely to pay for them, so I'm going to show up.
Yeah. Unannounced.
No, it's like, I have a list.
Yeah, right.
Where do I start?
Before we get going here, exactly. Well, Dr. Stately, hopefully I'll see you this week. And
yeah, I'll try to see you this weekend. And then I'm assuming you're not going to be on the radio on Christmas Eve, are you?
Oh,
I don't think so.
I don't think so.
Really? So this is my time to bid you happy holidays, everyone.
Right on. Well, thank you again. And I really meant that. It's so important, and we really appreciate you being on all these times, really.
No, seriously, I do wish everybody listening a happy holidays, safe and wonderful holidays. And I hope all your loved ones are in good health and spirits, and I'll see you in the new year. And before you go, I'm going to sing a little Bing Crosby song.
Yeah, White Christmas. Hey, up next, Wendy with their Sacred Animals. Thank you, Big Peeny Giggy, Dr. Stately. This is Native Roots Radio. Oh, wow.
Getting bus and train information in your language just got easier. Customers who call Metro Transit at 612-373-3333, again 612-373-3333, are able to select language options at the start of the call. To access information in Spanish, select option 2. For more information about other transit information tools, visit metrotransit.org/Spanish. That's metrotransit.org/Spanish.
Programming on Native Roots Radio is supported in part by MNsure. Looking for health insurance, but not sure where to start? MNsure has you covered. You can find discounts, compare private health plans, and see if you qualify for free or low-cost insurance. Plus, get help from an expert so you save on the coverage you need. Enroll online by December 18th for coverage starting January 1st. Get started today at mnsure.org. That's mnsure.org.
It's okay to talk about mental health. It's okay to struggle. And it's okay to ask for help. It's important that we support one another and work together to end the stigma so that we can start to tell a different story about mental health and well-being in our community. If you're looking for support for yourself or want to find resources for a loved one, visit makeitokay.org to get started. That's makeitokay.org.
The city of Minneapolis is now on Native Roots Radio with Minneapolis Air. AIR stands for American Indian Relations. Guest host Christine McDonald talks to people about important things affecting the city's Native communities. Minneapolis Air dives into topics like public safety, public health, elections, and so much more. Tune in to Minneapolis Air on Native Roots Radio from 5 to 6 p.m. on the second Wednesday of every month, right here on AM 950.
Hi, I'm Jane Fonda, and you're listening to Native Roots Radio.
And we're back to Native Roots Radio presents I'm Awake, and this is Robert Pilot.
This portion of the show is supported by Howling for Wolves, protecting wolves for future generations.
Howl!
And here's Wendy with the new sacred animals.
Thank you, Robert. Thank you, Haley. Hey, everybody. My name is Hanaji Hihani. That means cares for them. I was given that name by my Dega Curtis. Curtis goes by Mashke Hanajinga, which means walks on white clouds. I'm a humane policy volunteer leader for the Humane Society of the United States, and I work on animal issues at the local and state level. It's always my pleasure to do that, as always. So I got a lot of things to talk about today. First of all, well, we all know the weather's getting cold, and for the first time the other night, we were getting in the car, Robert and I. We have this neighborhood cat. He comes from across the street. He's a orange cat. He's like super friendly. Like he'll walk right up to you and you can pick him up, and he's really cute. And he has all his tags and his ID and everything on him. So we know where he lives. But it just, I don't know, makes Robert and I so nervous seeing him cross the street. And, you know, so yesterday he was in the back of our alley. I don't know what he was doing. And then he ran. And then we didn't see him. And Robert and I were going out to the car. And we were like, oh, my God, is he under the car? Like, what is this cat doing? So I said, you know, it's starting to get cold now. We need to, like, start banging on our hood of the car before we get in it and start it up, because there could be like animals in there now, because it's getting so cold at night, right? And the animals, you come in and your car's warm, the engine's warm, and they find a little place to nestle in and get cozy. So we were banging on the hood of the car, and then Robert was like, well, let's check the wheel wells. Maybe he's in the wheel wells. So, you know. So anyway, we're going to start doing that, because who knows? I think we know the name of the cat too. I can't remember it. Robert, if you remember, chime in. His name. Anyway, he's got a collar with his name and his address and everything. But we have a lot of neighborhood cats. A lot of people let their cat out wandering around. You know, most of the cats I see have collars and tags and everything. But I don't know. When I was a kid, all our animals went out. You know, the cats went out. I remember when I was a kid, my grandmother had, I think, 3 dogs at one time. Bootsy, Sam, and Jethro. Yeah, Bootsy, Sam, and Jethro. And she used to just like open the door in the morning, let the dogs out, you know, after they ate their breakfast, and they would just run the neighborhood. They just have their doggy lives and their doggy friends. And then I remember my grandmother be like, all right, call the dogs. It's time for them to come in. It's time for them to eat. Call the dogs. And, you know, we would like go out on the porch and like yell for the dogs, and they'd all come running. I don't know. It's a crazy thing. I'm glad those days are over, because I don't think dogs should be just wandering around, you know, pooping wherever they want, unsupervised, getting hit by cars, you know, getting into trouble. But anyway, enough about that. So we also have squirrels, Robert and I. We call them our squirrels because, like, there are squirrels. So years ago, I can't even remember how many years ago, Robert started feeding the squirrels peanuts. He had some salted peanuts left over from a baseball game or something. I don't know. And he threw some out and it attracted the squirrels. But then I said, they shouldn't really have salted nuts because salt's not good for them, right? They'll get high blood pressure or whatever. So then we started buying unsalted peanuts in the shell. And we've been doing it for years. And I'm telling you, excuse me, we have so many squirrels in our backyard. Sometimes, there's 12 squirrels. But, and then I felt bad for them in the winter because, I feel bad for animals. We bought duck houses. They're wood duck houses. We bought them at a store on Robert Street, like a bird store in Robert Street. I got up on the ladder and put it up there, and sure enough, the squirrels made a little home out of it, and when I looked inside, there was leaves and twigs and all kinds of stuff to make a little nest for them, and oh my God, I'm crazy. I was looking up how to insulate them to make them warmer. It gets so cold here. I just feel so bad for them. But you know what? Every morning in the sun, we have southern sun in our backyard. They're out there, eating the, peanuts and seeds and everything that we leave for them. So they survive. But anyway, we have the ducks. We live near a campus, St. Kate's University here. And I've talked about this before. All the ducks, they just come and they fly over our house. And they eat all the corn. We leave them a whole bunch of corn, and we have like a dish with water in it, and they get that dirty every day. But around the same time, around 4:30 every day, it's like clockwork. There's the squirrels. There's the ducks flying over. Robert just washed his car. Uh-oh, now he's got to wash it again. Anyway, I get a lot of joy just looking out my backyard here. We have, windows, and I have a bird feeder, and we have all kinds of, right now, like dead, I don't know what they're called, milkweed and all kinds of dead wild Minnesotan grown pollinator plants that are dead now. And I was going to pull them out, but I see all the birds eating the seeds out of them. And a woodpecker also comes and eats all the seeds out of it. So anyway, gives me joy to take care of the little wildlife we have in our backyard, and the raccoons that come and the possums that come. Robert, don't think I'm crazy, but I'm going to be setting up that possum house soon. So what we have, I'm going to try to describe it. We have a off the ground garden. So it's like it's off the ground. It stands up. And what I do is I put a tarp over it. And I bungee cord it around so it stays tight around the bottom, and I have an opening so whoever wants to can go underneath there. And then I have a heated mat that's plugged in, and so anybody, a possum, usually I did it for a possum, but anybody, a raccoon or anybody could go in there. And last year I have a picture of a possum sticking his head out of the little opening I made. It's heated in there. It's heated, and I have like a straw so that they could go in there, because possums, they don't have, they can't keep warm. They can't keep warm. They're warm-blooded, and they're not from around here, so they get frostbite. So you could usually tell how many winters a possum like hung around, because they're like their ears and their tail is frostbite. And honestly, they don't even live that long. And they're really ugly, but they're really they're not friendly, but they are not, they don't bite or anything like that. And they eat like a ton of ticks. So when I see them in the backyard, I'm just happy that they're eating all the ticks so that Wanda doesn't get full of ticks when she goes out there. But anyway, it's my time now. I just bought a new extension cord and a 3-prong, like an extender, whatever. So I'm going to go out there today and plug in the rest of my heating elements because it's supposed to get really cold next week. So anyway, take care of our wildlife, throw a bowl of water out and feed them some cracked corn or some bird seeds. They have a hard winter to go through. So with that, everybody, take it easy, and happy to be here as always.
Hey, thanks, Wendy. You are listening to Native Roots Radio. If you have been listening to the show, you are part of our resistance. We need to resist, divest, join a group, run for office, vote, and free Leonard Peltier now. We'll be back tomorrow.